Hey guys, it's Seth, Beth, and Steve for Crossroads Creative Medium. If you are a company out there and you're finding it difficult to get your message across, we are in enormous favor of talking to you about getting a podcast. I host so many shows with the podcast now. Like, I love the idea of a relaxed, sit-down format where you can tell your story. Beth, what do you love about podcasts, and what can they do for companies?
I think I fell in love with like the whole idea. I know that Howard Stern is not a podcast, but that's
very close.
That's how I connect all of this. Like, I don't think my mom knows this, but I love Howard Stern. Not the super raunchy stuff. Like, I just love him, you know? Like, he's just who he is, and he's not afraid to tell stories, and everything he talks about, I always connect with. And then he has guests on that, and somehow he's able to get these guests to be themselves. Not what you would see on David Letterman or Jay Leno or something like that. They are who they are. And I always look forward to listening to all those guests that he has on.
So it's amazing you bring that up, because it's amazing a mother would be attracted to someone like Howard Stern, which you and I have been for years. But the relaxed atmosphere of a podcast, there's so many things that are positive about the podcast. Number one is you're reaching a younger fan base, and they are specifically setting out to find you. You don't have to sell them. They are literally going on their phones and dying to hear more interesting stuff. And so not only is it a younger fan base, but it's a more well-off fan base. You know, the facts prove that people with a higher education who make more money, these are the ones listening to really great, intense podcasts, including ones like Joe Rogan. As you said, Howard Stern is a show. But the idea of sitting down in a relaxed atmosphere and showing your genuine, authentic self is really great. So, Steve, what do we? Well,
yeah, ahead, I mean, a podcast too has the advantage of being able to be listened to. Yeah. Right. We have such busy schedules. How often do you have time to just sit down, look at something on your phone, watch something on TV? I drive to work 20 minutes, right? Every day, each way. That's 40 minutes that I could be listening to something and learning something new.
Yeah, podcasts take mundane tasks of driving, vacuuming,
doing dishes,
laundry, and turns it into a learning environment.
It's so easily digestible.
Yeah, and you can connect. You can connect with the listener. You know, I love this. Someone brought this up when I was researching about podcasts, the idea that when you're listening to a podcast, it never feels like you're sitting in a room with 7,000 people. Listen, it feels like one person is talking just to you.
And that allows us to be who we are. Like right now, like I just feel like it's us three talking, and I have no idea that there's even like cameras and lights and setups and all of this. Yeah.
Well, not only as a speaker, but as a viewer.
Right.
You know, the viewer, even on YouTube, you know, the viewer has this relaxed sense of, yes, these people are talking to me, and they can really soak up information more. So if you're a brand out there and you think you have a story that you're having a hard time to be told, consider the idea of a podcast. We obviously have this gorgeous studio in Akron.
We are in our own podcast studio right now. Like, we're so passionate about this that we
built this whole place. Yeah, and so I talk to people all the time that they think that, number one, an audio podcast might be the answer, but it's very easy to do video and create tons of content for social media feeds and just show your.
It was very important for us to have we didn't want to waste our money and have to rebuy. So what we have is like the best podcast studio a person could ever dream of.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, visit videowithpurpose.com, see some of the links in there about podcasts, and 2020 and beyond could be your year. If you have something to say, we could put in podcast form for you. So Seth, Beth, and Steve, Video with Purpose. Thanks, guys.